believe we're getting so worked up about some guy.
Women. What could you say?
Friends.
Val.
Benefits.
I'm a girl.
I'm the dude, man.
I'm 100% that big.
What's up?
Hello, welcome to episode 30, Flirty and Thriving. I'll give you $40 if you know what movie that's from.
13 going on 30.
Okay, well, I have my fingers crossed.
Wait, that was right?
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, it was like...
As soon as I said it, I was like, well, that's the only movie with 30 in the
It was the
title.
only one I knew.
Well, you know what? Whatever. Fabulous movie, fabulous podcast.
And that's...
Mark Ruffalo.
Jennifer
Garner.
Jennifer Garner.
So good.
Oh.
It's incredible.
I just thought of another... we'll get into it.
Mark Ruffalo?
No.
The Hulk.
Actors.
Actors.
That's what made me think of actors.
You're right, Trevor. Those people are actors.
What's up? What's going on?
Nothing much. I am recording a podcast right now.
Cool. What's it called?
Nothing. I'm in the process of packing up my apartment, and it's horrible.
I hate packing.
I hate packing.
Are you getting rid of a bunch of stuff?
I'm getting rid of so many things.
That feels
and
good.
Here are a couple of my woes. And my woes are the people ghosting me on Facebook Marketplace and lowballing me so badly. I'm mad at you, and you're despicable.
What was the worst lowball offer?
Trevor, I don't want to talk about money. That's so tacky.
No, come on. Would you post it for, and then what did they come back with?
I'm basically just like $200 less than what I posted it for.
And it was like
something
$500 item or something.
$300, and they tried to offer me $100.
Oh
They're
man.
like $100 cash today. I was like, I don't even want cash. So you're offering me two things I don't want. Like I want Venmo, biatch.
Yeah.
I don't want your dirty COVID money. So yeah, the people on Facebook Marketplace are annoying me, and I'm about to slash my prices so that I can get it out before I move next week. And secondly, I am packing, and I can't tell if what fuels me is me or the fact that my parents always told me that I procrastinate really badly. And so I sit there and I'm like, okay, well, I really need to pack today. I'm like, oh, well, I really don't have that many things. So I keep going back and forth. And today I went through my bathroom and my clothes. And then there's some things where well, I can't pack this now because I still need to use this now. Or what if I need this?
Yeah.
And so it's that, but tomorrow is kitchen day, so I think that's the hardest, which is, sorry, I got hiccups, which is also the one where it's like, okay, well, I need cups.
Yeah. I hate packing, and I went through the exact same thing last time I moved, but...
And not to complain, but also, this week is eat the rest of the things in my fridge and my freezer week. So my meals are weird. And also I was trying on my clothes to figure out what I need to get rid of, and things are a little tighter. Thank you, COVID. That's fine. And it's not even I'm fat. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I don't want my clothes to not fit. This is inconvenient.
Yeah. No, I get that.
But I think at the beginning of Corona, I never buy myself snacks ever. Not I was buying not off-brand, healthy Cheez-Its and healthy graham crackers and just eating those. And I just never do that. So I get it. And I'm not upset. I was just this is so inconvenient for me.
Right.
Because that was rude and triggering. But also I feel the holidays you gain a little weight too. And I was
for
just
sure.
My sweatpants have been fooling me. Sweatpants are all that fit me right now, which would have been a good sound bit. But
who's that from?
Mean Girls. Who's that from?
That's right.
Regina George.
Yeah, I can't incept sound bites into your head and then pull them out when I need to. Okay. That
would be the future.
Give me a list of sound bites that you'll use.
I keep meaning to do it myself, and then I forget.
Yeah, that's all good. I'll pepper in some of these other ones.
But then you have to get used to it and understand my brain, and you obviously are not very good at that.
No, not in the slightest.
Trevor doesn't get me.
We're still working it out. Still working out the kinks.
Anyways, that's what's up. And then this weekend, it was beautiful outside. Oh, my God.
Gorgeous. Austin weather. Cold front What's up?
Yeah, and it was sunny, and so I went to a nice little outdoor spot on Saturday with my friends, and then I went home and watched Spotlight for the first time ever.
Oh.
And I just really wanted to make my stomach
movie.
hurt. Yeah. It was so
horrific. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like so, oh man. But I was just in the mood for a movie that made me think, and I know everybody talks about that movie. There's so many good people in that movie. Keaton, Adams, Ruffalo, other people.
Shriver,
who I never really see him in. Schreiber. It's Schreiber. And then there's that gray-headed man who's kind of attractive but old, who's on Sex and the City, the show, and he asks if he can pee on Carrie. Spoiler alert, but whatever. And then there's that other guy who's from the morning show who's also in Almost Famous, which I just saw Almost Famous, and it's so good. But I saw that like weeks ago. I don't remember if I said that.
There's Stanley Tucci.
And Stanley Tucci is so good. He's wearing a hairpiece.
Oh, John Slattery is the guy who you were saying who asked to pee.
Yeah.
Because
he's always kind of like small parts and things. He has really, really like white hair.
Yeah. Big role. Only big role thing I know of him in is Mad Men.
Oh, yes. Okay, because I was actually thinking that because I was like, I know he's big in something. Because you know those actors who are big, but you just like obviously never seen them?
Yeah.
And so I couldn't remember if it was him who plays that role in Mad Men or if it is Chuck's dad from Gossip Girl, which I'd understand that you don't know that.
Yeah.
He's also in Sex and the City, but also you wouldn't know that either. Anyways, really good movie except for like, ouch, this sucks. And it's so horrible. But I mean, they cracked the code and they figured out the stuff.
Just a brutal story.
But Stanley Tucci, wow, he's so good.
Stanley Tucci. Yeah, Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams, yeah, that's what I said. I said Adams. And then Mark Ruffalo, he just like seemed like he was definitely playing obviously someone else, but like I feel like he just really took on like mannerisms of someone else. And so I wonder if there was a specific person he was going off of. Because I know it's based on a true story, but it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. He just seemed like a dorky little guy.
I was going to say, honestly, he seemed really annoying.
He seemed really annoying. Like, all he cared about was work, and that's just, like, what's his whole life. But, I mean, obviously, you're cracking a big story. I get it.
Yeah. Hey, I mean.
And then on Sunday night, after having my fun in the sun, I watched, which I'd seen before, but I just, like, couldn't really remember the, like, what actually happened, was Gone Girl. Which, that movie just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like,
yeah. Big time.
Do you know what happens?
Yeah.
So also, like, Ben Affleck is such a question mark to me because it's like he's good in these movies, but then he has that huge tattoo, and then he also has troubles with gambling and drinking, and like he couldn't stay with Jennifer Garner, and now he's with Ana de Armas, but he's attractive and he's a good actor. I don't know. He's just like, I couldn't figure out. I think he was perfect for that movie, which also I got into trivia, and I found out Reese Witherspoon wanted to play that role, which that wouldn't have worked. Love Reese, but that wouldn't have made any sense.
Wouldn't have worked.
Because in that movie, that woman, she, like, annoys me in the beginning because she talks so, like, I don't know, just so...
She's, like, cold and sterile.
Cold, yeah. Very concise and, like, she has no emotion, which maybe, that's it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it really freaks me out just because, huge spoiler, they stay together. And I just can't wrap my head around that. Like, sometimes, when there's a good guy at the end of the movie or a bad guy, like, I can wrap my head around... that, but when them staying together, I just couldn't wrap my head around.
This is the baby, though.
So they don't end up together later.
Well, he's got to do it for the baby,
One, not his baby.
You don't think so?
There's no way they didn't have sex.
But remember, there was like so I read the book, so I might be confusing what was in the book with what was in the movie. I did, but
yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I'm probably mixing them together. At one point, I remember there was like she like froze his sperm without him knowing, and was like, I'll have a fucking baby if you try to leave me.
See, I thought it was Neil Patrick Harris's baby because they had sex.
Yeah. Could be. I don't know I don't remember exactly whether like what the movie did versus what the book did.
You really have to pay attention, but
brutal way for Neil Patrick Harris to go out too.
Also, and it was just like, they're not even going to go look into the fact that like it was obviously not. Was it that like he committed suicide? See, I'm so confused, and I watched it like 2 days ago.
Yeah. How do you?
No, it was she said it was self-defense.
Yeah.
I mean, she did a good job, but then it's like, how does she know all these things?
She's just calculated evil.
Yeah.
That's one
But
evil
then I
bitch.
get it, like, why it couldn't be like, well, he got out because he's the good guy, because they very made it obvious that he's not a good guy. And it was just, it's crazy. It's a thinker.
Yeah, it was a good one. I really enjoyed it.
Poor Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, and Ben Affleck. Really, nobody won except her. But
I
she
don't
didn't
know
even
if she
enjoy it,
won.
right?
She seemed like, I don't know. She's crazy.
Tough cookie to crack.
And just like the poor guys, the guy in the middle who she kind of like screwed over, and he's like a sex offender, but he's not
Right.
a registered sex offender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in those movies it's just hard for me to watch because I'm like, this is real life. But I know it's not because I've seen movies before.
She just left a warpath behind her.
Yeah, basically. But that's it. I just wanted to watch movies that made my stomach hurt.
Nice. Yeah, you accomplished it with those two.
What did you do?
Speaking of movies, I saw The Invisible Man.
Oh my God, with Elizabeth Moss?
Okay, so here's the thing.
That looks so scary.
I thought it looked really stupid, to be honest. I saw the trailer, and I was like, this movie's going to be awful. It's going to bomb. And then...
I feel like Elizabeth Moss only does, like, real stuff. Once you go Handmaids, you don't go to silly, stupid.
Right. I mean,
Handmaids
sure.
is as hardcore as it gets.
I've never seen it, but I know it's, like, very...
You should check it out. It's really light and fun.
Yeah, I heard it's very graphic, horrific stuff. But
So
I wasn't going to watch it, and then I saw the reviews were, like, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot, you know. I think it was like free on HBO. But
yes, it is.
It's yeah, my initial instinct was right. I didn't really like it. It was like, all right. I thought it was
But it wasn't stupid?
wasn't stupid, but it was just like, I don't know. I kept
Will you tell me like what the thing was? Like I want to know the spoilers.
okay. I mean, spoilers.
What's a bad movie?
Major spoilers. Yeah, but this is like a recent one. So if you're
Yeah.
going to watch The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss, stop now. Anyway,
Fast forward.
she's like, it's the husband.
Yes.
So the husband, like, he doesn't actually commit suicide.
Okay.
He's not dead. He puts on this suit. He's like this tech guy, and somehow he made this like active camo suit it's a bunch of cameras that allows him to, like, it projects whatever's behind him, in front of him.
Did you know that going in?
No.
Okay.
No.
You thought maybe he came back as
you
a
knew
ghost.
you knew he was an inventor. You weren't sure if he was dead.
Gotcha.
The previews made it seem like probably not, but we don't know what's going on.
I thought it was like Stranger Things.
Yeah, it could be a ghost, could be a Hollow Man type situation.
Or what's that horrible, that like really scary movie that came out and like freaked everybody out?
Not Hollow Man.
Paranoid Activity.
Oh, Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
Yeah, no demons. But the thing, it was basically like there's this suit that the husband is terrorizing her with, but then she ends up killing the guy in the suit, and it turns out to be his brother, who was his lawyer. But then it's like at the end, you're like, no, it was definitely like her husband doing it the whole time, and he just like put his brother up to it. There was just a lot of stuff. It was just like it wasn't that crazy.
Reaching.
It wasn't that crazy of a story. It just ended up
Yeah.
being like, all right, sure.
What's a movie you saw that really scared you? Have you ever had to like cover your eyes as an adult?
Like The Shining is the most terrifying, I think.
Okay.
But as far as like some movies have like a lot of jump scares, you know, and those
Totally.
will always freak me out. I feel like I know when I like first saw it. Oh, The Ring for sure. That was like the most horrifying movie because I was also like I think 11 or 12
I
at
get
that
The
time.
Ring confused with The Grudge.
Very similar. It's
Okay.
like both have like a girl
can't
who's
remember
all
which I've
wet.
seen.
And she's got black hair
Yeah, and she like her
matted to her face and
bones pop out of her body while
Yeah.
she crawls.
she's crawling on all fours like with her head backwards.
Stop.
Doing the crab walk.
Stop.
But stop.
It really freaks me out.
Sound like you're sending a telegram. But anyway, yeah, that was a really scary one. Disturbia scared me a lot
Yeah.
because again I was
And
young.
that's one like I would watch a lot, except for the one scene with the bodies in the dude's basement. That one really freaks.
and he falls
that
in the
part-
pit of bodies.
Yes,
Yeah, that
it's
was
just because like you
brutal.
put yourself in that situation of like,
Gross.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Hey, gross.
I close my eyes all the time. I get very scared.
Yeah. I'll watch it for the most part. I might do the cheating thing where I kind of like I put my hand up so I'm seeing it, but you're like it's not as visible.
It's when there's
you
something
still
suspense
see it,
and you
but-
just like don't know what it's gonna be. I know I've been watching these actors like the Round Table. I can't remember if I said that. I don't remember when. Like time doesn't exist for me right now, and so I don't know when I've gotten into it. But I'm really into it. Anyways, I was watching one where Jennifer Lawrence was in it, and she was in this movie called Mother.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like something you would see. Anyways, they showed a clip, and like I'm watching the Round Table, so I'm not ready for something scary, and it was something really like you're just like anticipating something to happen. And I had to close my eyes, and it was the middle of the day.
Yeah, that was
or at night. I don't remember.
Yeah,
whatever.
It wasn't really a scary one. It was more just like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
there were some
she said
disturbing
people
parts.
either really hated it or really liked it.
I was the former. I didn't like it.
Cool.
Yeah. The other thing I did was I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube. And
Oh, great.
I can now do it in under 3 minutes.
Okay. I see you got a new Rubik's Cube.
I did because the one I had was the mini one. There was a little prize from local pinball
From McDonald's.
arcade pinballs here in Austin. And it just didn't work right.
Did you order that on Amazon?
I did.
Cool.
$8. Now I'm just like the speed cubers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna solve it real quick. I can carry on a conversation.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you when to go.
Okay.
Wait, not yet. Okay, ready? Go. I would like to say that I mixed the cube up for Trevor, and I don't know how well of a job I did. So if he goes really fast, like I don't think it counts.
I mean, the fastest I've ever done was 2 minutes. So
How long have you been practicing?
since I figured it out like last Thursday,
Since
probably.
you figured it out on the mini, and then you're like, gotta get a big boy now.
Yeah, basically.
Does it make you feel cool when you solve it?
Oh, for sure. It's a successful feeling.
Describe that feeling in detail.
The thing about it is it's just satisfying. It's like one of those videos that you watch where they like push sand off the edge of a glass and it like perfectly sits in the glass. So it's quite nice. And it also kind of, it's mentally and physically satisfying. It's like a fidget spinner before fidget spinners were a thing.
What is the secret to it?
It's basically just a long list of steps. So you have to think of it almost like I likened it to learning like a song or something on the piano or the guitar, where you just have to like, okay, memorize this piece. Then once you get that piece down, you add this second piece. Then you have to be able to know this piece, the first piece with the second piece. Once you get that piece down, you have to know, the third piece and the fourth piece and so on and so forth, to the point that you're able to pull them all together and make a cohesive song.
How are you going to feel if you don't do it?
I'll do it. It just might take me longer than...
That's what I'm saying, longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Will you feel dumb?
No, but I
Okay,
am
that's great.
struggling to talk.
Okay, stop talking then.
Okay.
I will now sing The Climb by Miley Cyrus. With words. There's always going to be another mountain. You're always going to want to make it move. There's always going to be an uphill battle. Sometimes you're going to have to lose. Doesn't matter how fast you get there. Doesn't matter how hard. Something else. It's the climb. And you know what? I think those are all words that we can really listen to and take to heart right now. It is all about the climb. It is all about the journey. Also, I listened to Miley Cyrus on Joe Rogan on Spotify, which has video now, and I watched it, and it was fabulous.
Oh, how was the video?
Clear as day. The episode was like almost 3 hours long. And coming from someone, you have 10 seconds left.
Oh, I'm not going to do it then.
Coming from someone who has tried to be vegan, she was talking about how like she had to incorporate fish back into her body because her brain was all foggy to like get those omegas. 3 minutes. You're dumb, but you're so close-ish. I don't know. But
I'm not
Do you want
that
me to leave it?
close. I'm just going to solve it at this point. Because now it's like I have to finish it,
anyways, it was a great episode, and Miley Cyrus is cool, you guys.
I listened to that episode, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was good.
That's great. Do you listen to all of them, or are you just like, Miley's a cool girl?
I do not listen to all of them. I don't know how anybody would have that amount of time, to be real.
That's really true. And he drops like almost 3 a week.
Yeah, it's
Which,
a
I mean,
lot.
makes sense sometimes, like, especially how much money he got for this deal, and like that's his whole life, except he does speaking engagements and comedy specials, but I'm guessing he's not really doing that right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's I feel like he's kind of a workaholic. When he gets to do something, he just
Goes full throttle.
he goes full
Charlie's
throttle.
Angels, full throttle.
Um,
Speaking of, the Charlie's Angels were reunited on the
all
new
right.
Drew
I blew
Barrymore
it.
show.
I blew it. I can't do it. I can't do it and talk.
Oh,
I blew
no.
it, okay?
Don't blame it on the talking.
It's 100% the talking.
Oh my God. Well, you shouldn't have said, no, it's fine, I can talk.
Yeah.
I would have filled the silence.
I shouldn't have said it. You're right.
I feel like you're blaming me.
I messed up. No, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming myself. You know?
I just don't know if it was the talking.
Are you
But I
saying
guess
you don't
we'll
think I
never
can
know.
do it? I did it before you got here. How did I get it completed?
Yeah, you could have got lucky.
You can't get lucky with the Rubik's Cube. That's one thing I've definitely learned. If you screw up one thing...
Not what Robin Thicke said. Up all night to get lucky.
Oh. Wait, that's Pharrell.
With Robin Thicke.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. All right, moving on. I didn't do it, so it's not exciting. I wish I could redo that, but that's how life goes sometimes.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
So we've got some updates. One thing I wanted to ask about, you said you were watching a bunch of
Robin Thicke is not in that song.
Oh.
I was
Little
getting
live
confused with
fact
blurred
check.
lines.
Right. Which Pharrell produced, I think.
And he's in it.
Oh, he is. Oh, that's right. That's
He's in
right.
it with the
He
boobies.
sings with the boobies.
I love Pharrell.
Yeah, he's good. I was gonna say you were watching a bunch of actors, correct?
Yes, and actresses, but I think they should all be called actors, and I think they agree.
Yeah, whatever they prefer, I'll call them. But anyway, I was gonna say that's what I thought of at the very beginning of the show was. Did you see Shia? With
On
like,
what?
I don't know what it was on, but I've just seen like clips of it all over the place, all over Twitter. On TikTok, they have I think it looks like table reads just through Zoom, but it's with like Shia, Sean Penn, Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, a bunch of people doing table reads of
Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yes.
I didn't watch that.
Oh.
And so that's not what I'm referring to, but I know what that is.
Okay,
I haven't
so you
watched
haven't seen
it.
any of the clips? Okay.
No.
So awesome. Highly recommend.
It was awesome? Well, because I remember like the headline when we found out this table read was going to happen was that Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston were going to be together. So I think anything else that came after that, people were like, well, nothing else matters.
That was like after the fact, so unimportant because Shia just stole the show.
I
like
bet.
everybody else was
He's
just kind of like
talented.
they were doing a table read, like they had the part and they didn't really need to act it. Shia was like doing the acting. Like he was eating when he was supposed to eat. He was like,
I love him.
he became
so
Spicoli.
much.
It was awesome.
Speaking of, I've just like been diving into YouTube content that I think they made like for the height of pandemic, but it was in where I was in a place where like, I don't want to watch this right now. Or there's so many YouTube things that I see and I'm like, an hour, like I don't have fucking time to watch that. And now I do. What a gift. But I watched some of the table read for an episode of Big Mouth and I was laughing out loud. Like it was so funny to watch them read those characters. Nick Kroll is a talent. And
Yeah.
obviously I would die for John Mulaney.
He does a lot.
But I'll go ahead and say it. So you're not even paying attention to me right now.
Nick Kroll is such a talent, and you would die for John Mulaney.
Just because you heard me doesn't mean you're interacting with me. I feel like I'm reverting back to my only child syndrome. Anyways, gonna call it early. Whenever we do our top 6 through 10, Shia is gonna be on there.
Oh, I got you.
Even though the round table that I watched was Shia, Jamie Foxx, Tom Hanks, Adam Driver, not Timothy Chalamet, Robert De Niro, and Adam Sandler. And Shia looked, and he wasn't high because he's sober right now, but he just looked like high. So
He
was
looked
just
pretty
like,
high
He
in
looked
this
very
one, too.
happy to be there. Maybe
He-
he's just not drinking.
He was playing Spicoli though, who's like a pothead in the movie.
For sure.
So.
And he's good at it.
He killed it. It was awesome. So yeah, I wanted to bring that one up.
Cool. I'll have to check it out.
So you got some updates in here. Ones I don't really know about. Oh no, I guess I do know. Cardi B, right? With the
Offset.
yeah.
Yeah. Once a cheater, always a cheater. And this just sucks because we've heard multiple times that Offset cheats on Cardi B, and it's like she forgives him. I mean, they're married and they have a child together, so I get that you make it work. And I guess this was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, WAP, like she doesn't have time for you. She doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, like she just doesn't need you. And
so he cheated again?
Yeah, and I guess like he cheated in quarantine, and like who knows how many times he's cheated that she doesn't even really know about, because like there's no way she knows about all the times. She knows at least about 3. And so they're definitely getting divorced. She's better than this. Like, you don't cheat on Cardi B.
She also makes all the money. Like,
she definitely makes all the money. And it's crazy because I watched one, but they released like a behind the scenes of WAP video, and like he was there the whole time, like right behind her back, and it's just like she doesn't need that. She's Cardi B. She can do whatever she wants. WAP.
Yeah, so many more people know the name Cardi B than they do Offset.
Yeah. Migos. But yeah, it's just upsetting, and men are a shame.
People like Quavo better anyway.
Quavo's funny. He's dating Saweetie.
I don't know who Saweetie is.
She's a singer.
Okay, that's good.
You'd probably know one of her songs. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
So, I'm assuming it's ASAW.
Yes, like Saweetie. E.T.
She's a rapper. That's what Wikipedia says. I'm not correcting you.
Yeah, I mean.
Nice.
But, I mean.
They look cute.
Hopefully Cardi B will do whatever she wants.
Yeah, she will.
She's making that money.
She'll, in the words of...
Her and culture just going to take over the world.
That's right. I was saying, in the words of Kylie... which Jenner? One of the Jenners, she could throw that cooch wherever she pleases.
That was
She's
Kendall.
in full control.
They act like I'm not in full control of where I throw this cooch.
Exactly.
Don't
get
it twisted.
Yeah. What was the... Oh, and then you had something about... Well...
Do you know about Kanye?
I've seen he's been going off on Twitter. Some of it kind of,
Well, the main one that I
there,
saw was him peeing on his Grammy.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. I did see that.
So he's peeing on his Grammy. So when I first heard that he peed on his Grammy, because, again, I'm off social media right now, I saw that he's peeing on his Grammy, and I didn't know any of the context. Not that I was like, obviously I was like, well, that's different. But when I heard the context, I was like, I get where in his state he was going with that. But before I thought he was just peeing on it to be like, fuck the Grammys. I didn't think it was like, I want to own the rights to my music. And I think other artists should too. And this also escalated. Also, I'm just seeing like bits of information since I'm not on social media. But I saw that he tweeted like, I will make sure that Taylor Swift owns the right to her music, which like they're in a huge feud. So it's just interesting, and I hope that he is getting help.
Well,
I do think artists should own the right to their music for sure, but I don't know. He's throwing me off.
So what I was gonna say is I actually saw that was like mainly what I saw was I forgot I did see
an attention grabber.
I did see the Grammy pissing thing, which was crazy.
Pissing. So foul, Trevor.
Well, I mean, it's also like, you got to get that out of the toilet eventually. Like, who's going to pull that thing out? You're going to have your maid do that? Like, yeah, that's really kind of fucked up.
She needs an upgrade. Well, yeah, it's fucked up.
I mean, if he did it, fine. If he pulls it out, that's fine.
Totally.
But I was going to say, he has apparently been tweeting a lot of stuff about owning the rights to his masters and trying to get other artists to own the rights to their masters. And, apparently making like some decent waves as far as like getting that conversation going of like artists trying to have more ownership of their music, which would be really cool, because you do see a lot of people get kind of screwed over sometimes where it's like, okay, I know it's like, yeah, somebody makes a good deal, they buy it, whatever, but at the same time, like, wasn't it, I forget who did what, but somebody's dad like sold masters of theirs, and it's like, I get that, but like the person wrote the song, you know what I mean, and they didn't sell it. How's that fair? You should always, I feel like you should always have ownership, and it should just be licensed. Like,
yeah, because I get like how the record or whatever. I don't get how they own it, but I get like you should get a percentage. Like that just makes sense. I feel like it should almost work the same way as an agent. I don't know who completely owns it, but you should just get a percentage of the money. But the person who wrote the song should have the money.
Yeah, and I was just say I have no idea about the inner workings of the music industry, but it seems like that's a good idea to give the people who wrote the songs the rights to the songs.
Well, because like so much of their money goes to publicists, the record agents, and all that stuff. And with how we stream music is so different. Like we're not going back to buying CDs. Like
No.
it's just completely different now. And so you kind of have to rework everything with streaming.
Yeah.
So that they can make their money, and they're not touring right now. So it's like we're just streaming.
Labels, baby.
Labels. I mean, Chance doesn't have a label, and he seems happy.
Independence. That's the way.
And he does great, so I don't know.
Yeah. Tough to say.
But
right?
yeah, tricky way to go about it. But I mean, if this brings Kanye and Taylor together, great.
Powerful
But
image.
I hope that he is healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's always a little bit scary when you just see him firing off a tweet storm.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, well, yeah, I was going to say, do you update your phone first off?
Okay, I heard that there's an update, but I haven't seen. My phone is usually like update ? And I'm like, maybe later. But it hasn't been doing that.
Okay, because there's apparently an update that just like has sent people into complete
Oh no, there it is.
madness, where you can like change the icons of
Yeah, I'm showing Trevor my phone where it's like, oops, sorry, that's Harry Styles. One is one big fat icon of like the weather, and then one is like a big icon of the time.
You can't customize like the text or messages bubble, app look on your phone, but now you can. You can put like whatever you want there. You could put some guy yelling at a cloud on that, or a bagel if you want.
I thought you were gonna say a baby. A baby would have been funnier.
Baby.
Too late. That's crazy. I'm sure I'll update it because I'm glad that people do it first, because there are some updates where it's like, I mean, they tend to be inevitable, but there's some where it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna avoid that until my phone's like really slow, because that does seem to be like a pain in the ass. But look at us, we're all evolving.
Yeah, but somebody also was like, they made a great point. They were like, what if you were like, let's say you're choking or something. Well, not choking. Let's say you're bleeding out and you need somebody to call 911. They take your phone and they're looking for the phone button, and it's just like nothing is as it looks. And you're like, I don't know where the phone is.
Oh, wait, you also press the button where it's like, do you need emergency SOS?
Oh, yeah. I honestly didn't know you could do that.
As a woman, we know these things.
That's a good call.
Always got to be quick. Got to be looking out.
I think my phone's
And
too
that's
old.
serious.
I have an iOS, or I have a 6, so I have iOS 10 because I haven't updated because I'm scared it's going to crash it.
You know what? That's fair. Here's a question. Why don't you get a new phone?
Because they're expensive, and I'd rather spend the money on stuff that I'd rather spend the money on.
But you like pictures, so I feel like you would like the new phone, even though right now there's not really anything to take pictures of, except y'all may not know this, Trevor loves selfies.
Well, I have a camera, so...
Oh, so you just take your camera and you turn it towards you?
Well, no. I'm not a selfie
On
guy,
your tripod?
so I don't really have...
Y'all should check out his vlog.
Yeah.
What would your vlog be? I mean, what is your vlog?
Good question.
Skateboarding.
No, I'd probably go up to like random people and just ask them questions, see if they'd want to talk to me for a little bit. Not like a...
Trevor, that's annoying.
No, it wouldn't be like a, hey, what's up, man? Do you want to like... so like, have you ever heard of like...
Stop.
I would be like, hey, like, do you have like 5 minutes to talk? I'm just talking to
Not
random
our
people.
Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Hey, do you have 5 minutes? Have you seen Jesus before? No, just like ask them probably about like, hey, what's I don't know. I always think about like everybody has when you're I always think about this when I'm in traffic. If you're driving, you're on traffic. There's so many different people out there. Everybody has like some crazy story of some shit that happened to them or their brother or whatever. And it's like sometimes hilarious, sometimes just insane. And
You just want crazy stories.
The anonymity of like, I don't know, every day, or even just like people do weird fucking shit. Like, what's the weirdest quality you have that people like comment
and
on?
all their faces are blurred out.
Yeah, it would be anonymous that you wouldn't be able to like talk.
It's a vlog.
Yeah, well, you could just watch me interview them, and then we'd do the
You just cut their face out.
We would do the classy lighting like they do in a 60 Minutes interview where the witness is anonymous and they just put the
and you're
dark,
on the street.
Yeah, I'd figure it out. I'd figure something out.
Wow, it's exciting. I can't wait for it. When does that come out?
Soon.
That's
Announcement to
great.
be made soon. So
Wow, that's really, really exciting.
yeah.
Big things happening in 2020.
Maybe 2021. You know, I don't want to put a date on it. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Art can't be rushed.
Exactly. The artist is always working.
Especially when you're going up to random people in the middle of a pandemic. That's just tricky.
Well, I didn't say I was doing it now, so it may not be in the middle of a pandemic.
I was just going with the joke. I wasn't trying to
Oh,
push
hey,
your
no,
buttons.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So much yelling.
But
yeah, I mean, I guess I'll update if I remember tonight. But
for remember to mind, yes. All right, I think that's
no, that is not it.
You got another one.
Pour one out. I mean, it's totally upsetting. I feel weird just because we were joking and now we're like. But Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we lost a really good one this Friday. Honestly, for all sexes, like if you haven't seen her documentary on Hulu, it is absolutely amazing. It's super inspiring. Just like what a fabulous small little woman fighting for justice.
She was really little.
She was so little, but she was funny.
Wasn't she in her 90s?
87.
Pretty good. You know, good run.
Pretty great. And just like, because she seemed, I guess I'm just used to my grandma who is 87 and just literally like running around everywhere and just like doing whatever the fuck she wants. Like still goes to work because she wants to 5 times a week. And so I think that's 87. But also watching the documentary, it was saying how like she would work till 4 a.m. and like barely get any sleep. And then there was points where she was like raising her children, taking care of her husband who had cancer, and also going to work and not skipping a beat.
It's wild.
And it's just insane. Like she's just such a powerhouse. And it's just, I don't know if you ever saw those videos of like her falling asleep in the Supreme Court.
Mm-mm.
Oh, and people are just talking about how like she just can't like fall asleep in the middle, and it's just so cute because she's just like hunched over, and she was saying how like the people behind her like they have to stand up and sit down the whole time. She's like, we're just sitting there, so I just like fall asleep. I mean, she's just so precious. And in the documentary, it showed her watching Kate McKinnon play her, and she'd never seen it before.
Oh, nice.
And it was just hilarious. But just like she did so many things for women, like. If it wasn't for her, we would still need our husbands to get a credit card. And I mean, you just can't put a price on that. And if that
Really?
doesn't infuriate you,
That's
yeah.
crazy. When did you, all right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll have to watch the documentary at some point.
It was really incredible. I
interesting.
recommend it to everyone because it also showed how like she was just fighting for justice for everyone. Like it wasn't just for women. Like there was this man whose wife had died and he couldn't get Social Security benefits because he wasn't a woman. And so
Wait, what?
it's like you couldn't get how like if your husband died, you could get Social Security benefit and you could get money because he's the sole breadwinner. But like because his wife had died, he couldn't get any money because she was a woman. And she took that court to case.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm too stupid to understand what you're saying. That sounds cool. It sounds awesome.
If your partner dies, you're supposed to get money to help like take care because you lose that money. And so a woman that could happen for a woman whose husband had died, but in this day and age, if the wife had died, the husband could not receive this benefit because he was a man.
Okay.
And because women don't bring in money.
Even if she didn't have like a job?
I don't remember if she had a job or not, but it should still be equal.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was just talking about balls that made me, but just like all the things that like there was one woman who was not getting paid equally for the same job that the men were doing. Mm-hmm. And when she went in to be like, oh, like I think there was a mistake about like I'm not getting paid enough. He's like, well, you should just be lucky that you're here. Women aren't supposed to work. And it's just like the very plain and just like open discrimination that was happening. Yeah, I think it was a wonderful documentary. She was a badass woman, and yeah, what a great gal.
Little lady, she can finally,
so small, so cool.
She can finally
and
rest.
the love story of her and her husband, and it was just incredible. You will laugh and you will cry. It was like a short, hard cry.
I don't know if I will cry, but I will laugh. I could say probably.
I would say I think you'll feel something.
Yeah,
I
no
cried
doubt.
at one specific moment, and I was just like, "Damn, that was sweet."
Nice. All right.
Notorious RBG forever.
Well, as we conclude updates, we'll move into the topic for today. Little different type of thing.
Little ditty.
We're going to be doing our, I guess, most impactful pop culture moments of our
in
youth
our lives.
And they're generally related, they're personally important to us, but also we think we kind of tried to consider like what was, a momentous occasion for our respective genders, guy and girl, man and woman, and yeah, so we put together some lists. It's going to be sort of a top 5, not a final 4, but it's not really a top 5. We're just going to kind of go through.
Final
4. I dragged out the 4. So we're just going to kind of go through one by one. And it's kind of a specific order, but also not really.
Mine is in no specific order, but I can make it fast. I can make that arrangement quickly in my brain if needed. I'm going to let you go first so I can figure out what direction your head is in, unless you straight up just say the example that you sent me earlier, then I'm going to be like, bah.
Oh, okay. Well, now I won't use that one. Well, okay, it's more specific than that.
Halo.
I mean, that is on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I know you like the back of my hand.
So I'll just say, I'll just go with that one. It's not like the most important.
Wow, I am literally a genius, and I think we should all take a moment to realize that.
Well, to be fair,
I'm literally psychic.
To be fair, I said I gave the example earlier of like
Xbox,
when the
and
Xbox came out.
I don't know video games.
There's like 2 big ones.
What's the other one?
You can name it.
Grand Theft Auto?
No, now you're not. Yeah, you're trying not to answer the one.
Madden?
No, you actually know a surprising number of video games.
I played Madden on my Wii. Girls can do both.
That's crazy. I didn't know Madden came out on Wii.
It did.
That's wild.
And I'd be like, ooh, spike it.
That would be so funny if somebody was like, hey, do you want to come over and play Madden? And you went over and then they had a Wii.
That would have been my house. Except I would have been like, hey, want to come over and play Hannah Montana?
Didn't know she had a game.
Everybody had a game.
Yeah.
Apparently. I hope I remember this while you're talking about this, because it just brought up another game that was crucial in my development, but it wasn't on Wii, I think. I would have been too old.
What was it?
Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Oh, actually, speaking of weird games from like pop culture, apparently Johnny Depp. So I saw a TikTok of this lady who made she like helps with like game designing like licenses of real people, and apparently if you have like there was a Pirates of the Caribbean game, and if you have a likeness of a real person in that, they have to approve it. And so Johnny Depp apparently like totally approved his Captain Jack Sparrow thing, was like, yeah, I don't care, go for it. But Orlando Bloom was like, actually my pecs aren't defined enough. And like she was saying it was like way like generations back on like the Game Boy or something. So they only have a certain number of pixels. So they had to like delete a bunch of shit because he was not satisfied with the way his pecs looked in the game. And it's like, wow.
Okay, but with that kind of stuff, I wonder, like, I doubt I'm sure, like, it was, like, it went through it, and then it went through his team, and then he was like, well, could my pecs be, like, a little bigger? And one day I'll marry Katy Perry.
Could you make my pecs a bit bigger?
Yeah, that's better. Well, that's not very Orlando Bloom, but we're on that line.
Right.
Anyways, and then I'm sure that's what, he told his team, and the team went back, and I'm sure he never found out that they had to, like, erase all these things just to make his pecs look bigger. I'm sure they were like, fuck, like, Orlando wants it. We're not going to be like, are you sure, like, we have to read all the pills? And
I would love to think that it's the opposite, though, where it's, like, him just being like, no, the pecs aren't perfect.
Maybe in that day and age he was like that. I just don't think he's like that anymore.
Yeah. More down to earth, probably.
But, I mean, he was, like, a sex god.
Oh.
I think I only think that because my cousin growing up, she had a cardboard cutout of Legolas in her room, and it scared the crap out of me.
Oh, yeah.
But he was hot. I remember, like, that's a hot blonde. Not to stereotype blonde.
It's a hot elf.
He is an elf.
Yeah.
I guess when I see elves, I think smaller.
But they're larger. You're thinking dwarves. Dwarves are the
No,
small
don't tell me
ones.
what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of the Keebler elves that make our yummy little cookies, and they live in the tree.
Those are more gnomes. They
They're
are
elves.
They're
the
no,
Keebler
you're right.
elves.
You're right. They're the Keebler
and
elves.
Santa's elves are small. Have you ever seen The
Also
Santa
true.
Claus? One of our favorite movies.
A lot of
I didn't mean to
inconsistency
say
with depictions of elves. Now that you bring that point
Honestly, not. I think the Lord of the Rings were like, we don't want a small one.
What about? I'm trying to think of something else with elves. I can't.
Exactly.
They're not in like Game of Thrones or anything.
No elves, no dwarves.
Yeah, they don't really have the mythical people.
Was
No,
there
they're the little fairy people. Yeah.
Fairy people in Game of
The
Thrones.
children of the forest. Remember, they created the
I
White
wouldn't
Walkers.
call them fairies.
Whatever, the garden people, the tree
Gosh,
people.
I honestly forgot so many people. And I think anybody that was like mystical in Game of Thrones was not meant to be cute,
Yeah, they were really gross.
There's definitely like sea creatures in Game of Thrones too. I think you only see them like once or twice, but you're like, oh no.
Sea creatures.
Definitely something of the sea, unless I'm
Okay.
confusing it with another movie. And I think I might be thinking of the mermaids in Peter Pan with Jeremy Sumpter, because those mermaids, I was like, that's not the
wait.
mermaid I want.
And now when you said that, I was thinking of the mermaids in Harry Potter, which were
Well,
terrifying.
those are not mermaids.
Oh, okay.
Unless they are, but those are scary.
Whatever they are,
fuck.
it's horrifying.
And they like scream at him with the Triton stick.
Yeah, and they want to just bring him down to the depths.
Anyways, elves are small.
Yeah, we are. So I think going back to our list, right?
Yes. Halo.
I was gonna say Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and Halo 3. Because when those came out, I feel like every single guy of like high school age, my age group, was on that for extended periods. Like all of your friends, probably, if you had it, most likely most of your friends had it. You would go on, you'd have like, chat parties or whatever, where you just like everybody would play. You'd be like yelling at each other and talking shit. It was just so fun. There were so many good memories of that. We used to like not only squad up to just play the actual game modes or whatever, but we would play, we'd make our own games and stuff like that. There was all sorts of like fun stuff you could do. But it was like really the first time I ever did
Video
like
games.
online gaming with like people that I knew, you know what I mean? With like a microphone and everything.
What was the big thrill about the Xbox compared to the PlayStation? Like what did you like see a commercial where like, whoa, that's gonna be different because fill in the blank?
So honestly, Xbox,
It was a cool name.
It wasn't really the Xbox was just like
Green.
whatever, and same with the PlayStation 2. But when Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, which I got the Xbox 360, when those came out, they came like Xbox Live, PlayStation or whatever PlayStation Live came out, but those allowed you to use the internet and like talk with your friends, and just be like way more connected and like game with your friends, because it wouldn't be nearly as fun if I was just playing by myself.
Yourself, totally.
But like we would, stay up super late. Like I remember at times like sneaking downstairs because I had probably already spent 4 hours playing video games earlier in the day. And Mom was like, "You can't play any more video games. This is outrageous. I can't believe you already played 4 hours." And then I would be like, "All right," and I'd go to bed. But then in real life, I would actually just go downstairs and sneak down and play video games. A couple times I got caught.
You know what? Totally. And that's actually interesting because I've never played like that. Like, I definitely had video games. I think I had a Nintendo and a PlayStation. I think I had a Nintendo at my dad's house and a PlayStation at my mom's house. Divorce. And so I'm an only child, so I could either play alone or if I was in with my actual real friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I've never really done that ever in my life where I've played across the internet, but I do know it's fun to play video games in person. In college, my roommate still had her PlayStation, and we would play like Mario Party and everything like that. And it's just a hoot and holler and good time.
It's so much fun.
So I understand that. And for you, with you along the lines of doing that, I'm going to say my equivalent to what I think I was spending my time doing while you were doing that, even though that was high school, so it was a little earlier than that. And that is the invention of AIM.
Ooh,
AIM.
That was big.
AOL instant messaging. It's a hard word to say. It's right there.
Okay.
Just spilling
Little
stuff.
spill. I got some napkins
Getting
here.
so passionate about AIM.
Perfect spot to
Speaking of spilling things while on AIM, I think I've told you this story before, but you forget things, so it'll be great. It'll be new for everybody.
I'll say this. Don't remember right now.
Definitely don't know right now. But to go back, I don't know when AIM actually came out. I knew I was allowed, quotes, to be on it in like 7th and 8th grade, which is when I really went hard and talked to everybody. Ash is crazy 13, 2 Z's. Don't forget it. Trevor, what was yours?
So I had a couple. I think my the one that stuck was Volcom Fan.
That's great.
Yeah. 8899. Or, no, 23, because Jordan.
Jordan, Michael,
Yeah.
Space Jam. Anyways, so yeah, I was on there all the time talking to crushes, leaving away messages when I had to go talk to my dumb parents. Anyways, so there was one time in 8th grade where I lived upstairs and my parents lived downstairs along did our living room and our kitchen. That's how houses work. And so my bathroom wasn't connected to my room. And one time I went to go fill a bathtub. Always been a big bath girl. And
I remember this now.
yeah, so I went to go fill up my bathtub, and then I went back to AIM because that's where my true passions lie. And so I guess I'd been on AIM for a while, and then all of a sudden I hear Ashley blank Phillips. Y'all don't need to know my middle name. And that's how you know I'm in big trouble. And so I come out and I look over the balcony, Rich, to see my mom, and that the water is spewing out of the lights from downstairs because the water had overflowed from my bath because I was on AIM.
It was addictive.
It was very addictive. You could just get lost in there, especially like, who knows, like my favorite little cutie could have popped online as soon as the bath was at full mess.
And what if they message you or they put up a little status?
I can't leave. I wasn't that smart yet to play hard to get. And so that happened. I got in huge trouble. We had to rip up the carpet and everything. And then being the only child that I was, I don't remember if I got grounded or I don't remember if they took AIM away from me or not, but I wrote a letter and I got out of it.
I will say you wrote a letter. Nice.
I always wrote a letter when
good.
I got in trouble.
Yeah. And they're like, wow, she learned her lesson.
She's a smart, articulate little bitch.
She's going to be a writer one day.
They always told me they thought I was going to be a lawyer because I was very like analytical and be like, well, you said this. Oh.
Technically,
I was gaslighting my parents since 2003.
Nice. That's a pro move. I was big on AIM. What was the?
I mean, you had to be.
You had to be for sure. That was like first.
Get in or get out.
First crushes, everything like that. What was?
And speaking of how, like you were just saying, like you would sneak and go beyond it for sure. Except for, like in my house, like I had my computer in my room, so I didn't have to do that. Like my parents didn't know anything.
Nice.
Especially when we lived in the house where I was upstairs, like they weren't gonna make the way all the way upstairs unless it sounded like I was dying.
And you had plenty of time to like pretend like you weren't on by
for
the time
sure
they made
it was
up the
quick
stairs.
and easy. But like when I would go to my cousin's house, especially like I would be in a different state, like then my friends and my crushes felt even farther away, and I would wake up in the middle of the night, and they had like the AOL, so it was like a cooler format. It's like, I don't know if it had different fonts, but there was definitely something. No, they had a Mac computer. I don't know, it was something like that where it was different than what I had, and it was cooler, so I really wanted to be on it. And also, like, I was like 13 years old and it was like 2 a.m. Who the fuck was I talking to?
That's what I was gonna say. That's crazy that you were up that late. I mean, I guess we probably did that same shit too. But I was gonna say, I had a Mac. On the Mac, it you had like, I think it was called iChat, and it looked like an early iPhone. So it was really cool interface, and you could like, do all this cool stuff.
Blue
you felt
bubbles.
like blue bubbles. You felt like you were. This was basically
the new age.
Yeah, it was like you were like, I'm in the future. Forget Phil, it's Trevor of the future. And we were live. Yeah, it was awesome. So.
Wow, great reference. Also, I thought that was personal because my friends from home call me Phil, and I was like, forget Phil, fuck you.
Yeah.
Phil of the future was decent. Anyways, yeah, AIM forever and always. I kind of wanted to come back because I actually just stopped from on my Mac where I can like text message on there just because like, I don't know, it was annoying me for some reason. And so I kind of want AIM to come back, and only the coolest of the cool are on there, even though we're all cool.
It would, there was something exciting about, I know texting is instant, but you're not always on it. That was the thing, is when you're on AIM, that was all that you were on. You know?
That's what you wanted to be doing. Like, I came here to AIM.
Exactly.
Where like on Facebook, sometimes I'll see in that little chat, like someone's on. It's like, could you fucking imagine if I just messaged this person and was like, because you would even message people on there that you didn't even talk to all the time. It was just like, look at us communicating.
Right. There was a boldness.
And I don't need your phone number.
Yeah, exactly. And you were like, no fear.
And
I would
check
never
out
talk.
this font.
Yeah.
It's pink in the background, and then the font is white. Have you ever seen that before? I bet you haven't.
And you're like, whoa, this is great. And you could send, this was like probably a guy thing, I'm assuming, but you would send.
Titty pics?
Well, no.
Sorry, you said guy thing.
I was going to say, you'd send links. It could be that, but it would be a link of like, hey, check out this website. It would be like ESPN.com. and they could change the hyperlink, so it would say www.espn.com, but in fact it would be like playboy.com. Somebody did that exact same thing to me.
Wow, I
and
don't
was
know
on my,
if we
like,
did that.
I was on my home computer, so I was like, oh my god, no, freaking out because like my mom's probably like,
yeah.
what are you looking at?
Trevor.
No, it didn't happen. It
Go
didn't
to your
happen like that.
room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's mine.
Solid, very solid. I was a big AIM user.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
And then Mac took over the world.
So, thanks, Steve Jobs. I was going.
That seemed sassy, and he's dead. Show some respect.
Well, he wasn't the best guy.
Yeah, but look at you holding 2 iPhones.
And using a MacBook computer. I was going to say
and you got your AirPods.
The next biggest thing, probably, I have to go with. I think every young man that was of age where you'd be paying attention to this sort of thing, just in the just in the nick of time where you were like, that was interesting, and I'm not really sure why. Or maybe you were interested and you knew why. But Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction. Wardrobe.
What a blessing that never happens to you.
Malfunction. I think I said it. I just said it in like
it was definitely kind of like wardrobe.
Who's Snape? What's his name? The actor?
Severus Snape.
No, but who's
Alan Rickman, R.I.P.
Yeah, it kind of said it in Alan Rickman's accent. Wardrobe. But anyway, that wardrobe malfunction of Janet Jackson was huge just because it was like, whoa, that's a nipple on TV. What's under there.
We're watching football.
Live. You kind of knew that was the
I've never
case,
seen it.
but that was like the first, I don't know, like live thing. So it was like
it was a shock around the world.
Shock around the world. People,
I still can't believe just how shocking it was to people. Like, hey, it's a nipple.
It wasn't that. It was that. It was like.
Oopsies.
It was like this like planned weird thing where it wasn't
like, planned.
It was for sure planned.
Not to show the nipple. No, it wasn't.
Why did she have a little ring around her nipple?
A ring?
Yeah.
Like she had a pasty on?
It was like a sun that was like...
Did you see nipple? It only counts
Yes.
if you saw nipple.
Yes.
You weren't supposed to see nipple. I'm sure there was supposed to be like a pasty or something.
Okay, but the thing... they showed the boob, and that was intentional. Justin Timberlake grabbed it and then pulled it off.
I get what you're saying. Like, I think there was supposed to be like some dramatic effect. I don't think we were supposed to see nipple. I think something was supposed to happen, but I don't think we were supposed to be see nipple. Like, do you remember Lil' Kim? Like, she wore that purple outfit with her breast out and she just had her nipples covered. Like, I feel like it was supposed to be that situation. Maybe she originally had a pasty on it that said "Go Team."
So let me show you the image because I was interested. It was like, okay, was it the nipple? Here we go. Can I zoom in?
Perv.
Jesus, can we zoom in here? Can we talk about Janet Jackson?
Okay, well,
here you go. Look. It's like a ring, a sun ring thing. You see what I mean? The nipple's there, but then it's like it's clasped around the actual nipple.
Huh.
Very interesting, right?
Because that's her nipple.
Yeah, and he pulled
In
this
the
thing
middle.
off. That didn't just come off, And then it was planned, for sure. But anyway, regardless of the outrage.
Maybe that's just how she wears her nipples.
Could be.
Wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah, can't imagine.
I can't imagine. I want to see a picture of her like with the clothing
thing.
on the breast because there's no way you don't see that star thing through the shirt.
It was like thick leather though,
but it's like a metal sun.
It's true. But yeah, I think that every guy was just like, whoa,
didn't know we could do that.
Because I think I was in 6th grade, I want to say, and it was like wasn't at the point where I was like necessarily like seeking any of that out yet, but just kind of like
as in naked photos of women.
Exactly. But I was like, this is interesting, and
it's kind of crazy just because like Justin Timberlake was so fresh out of the boy band. I'm kind of surprised he did something so risque, but then it's like it's Janet Jackson, like you got to do it.
Yeah, people came down on her, and it's like
because she's a woman.
But he's just as much at fault. He's the one who pulled the thing.
Okay, but do you understand? It's because she's a woman.
Yeah, I'm saying it's unfair.
Yeah, for sure. I just didn't realize you were like, why didn't they do it? It's like it's because
no, I'm saying
woman.
Why didn't they not why didn't, but it's unfair that they're like, yeah, well, Justin Timberlake's fine. It's like, well, he
'Cause
pulled
he's
it
a
off.
man. Yeah.
He got off scot-free.
That's what we've been doing.
Jessica Biel, keep your man's hands in sight. I'll say that.
Are you saying that because he was also photographed in New Orleans holding hands with someone else? But we've moved on from that.
I didn't know,
But he was really drunk, so we've moved past it.
that's a weird thing to do when you're really drunk. Hold hands?
Yeah. It was like his hand was on her knee, and it was like his co-star.
Okay. Well, Justin. Anyways, yeah, what do you got?
Next up, not having to do with nudity, was, let me pick one. Probably when the song Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney came out. This was a pivotal moment for women. And this is because we had never heard such an angelic voice by such a hot boy at once. And I picked this character because he truly kind of came out of nowhere, unless you saw Summerland. And I don't think I'd seen Summerland yet, because it would make sense why I wouldn't have been allowed to see Summerland yet, because he was like having sex on the show. And then he came out with Beautiful Soul, and the music video was so good, and girls were just completely obsessed with Jesse McCartney. And I think he was kind of like our first solo heartthrob, because I don't have any Backstreet Boys or NSYNC written down, just because I was so young. Like, I don't remember it coming out. I just remember being obsessed with them. But like, I was like 4 years old when Backstreet Boys released their first song, so obviously I don't remember. But their music will live inside of my heart forever. Anyways, I bought every Tiger Beat and every magazine available of Jesse McCartney, and I'd posted him on my wall. And then I ripped all those down when the Jonas Brothers came out. I basically changed my religion.
And he introduced you to the Jonas Brothers.
He introduced me to Jonas Brothers personally. He said, hey, these are Jonas Brothers.
These are the J
But no,
Bros.
as we all know, as I've mentioned it before, brag about it all the time, I went to a Jesse McCartney concert. Jonas Brothers played before. I met them. I took a picture with them. It's my pride and joy. And Jonas Brothers are obviously on this list. But you know what? We got to keep it moving. But Jesse McCartney, I think, is the one that started it all of like, hey, you. Damn, that's like one of his songs. But I don't have to think about the lyrics. But yeah, he just took women by storm. And I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah. Girls, right? You were young.
I told you I used them
interchangeably. Yeah, right.
My mom could not get enough.
I just want to clarify, he's the...
I am a woman and a girl all the time at any age.
Fluctuate.
No.
Okay. I was going to say, my next one, Space Jam.
Yeah.
When that came out, it was just like...
Everybody get up.
Yeah.
I think that would hit the buzzard of how many times we've talked about that on this episode, on this podcast.
It's a lot. It's definitely up there. But it was just
like somebody's got his Jimmy whipped. That's in Space Jam.
Oh, really? Wait. What is that?
It's
like
that little tubby guy that like follows him around, not to like insensitively use tubby. Sorry, I just don't know his name.
Yeah, he's Newman from Seinfeld. George something.
He
it's
is.
Not George.
I guess he just has more hair. That's not George.
It's Newman from Seinfeld. It's not George. Newman is the he's the mailman who Jerry's Jerry's nemesis.
I was gonna say that's not the same guy. I haven't gotten that far.
What's his name? It is played by Wayne Knight.
For all you Wayne Knight fans that were waiting for that.
Yeah, he's got a solid amount of hair. But
yeah, he has hair.
But anyway,
that's a line from the movie, and I'm sure it has stuck with me through time because when I heard it, I was like, "What?"
Jimmy, what was it again?
Looks like somebody's got his Jimmy whip.
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, now I'm like, is that Big Daddy? I'm pretty sure it's Space Jam.
But yeah, it was just like, you had a great soundtrack. It was like mixing sports with cartoons, which like I was at that age where it was like, yeah, just like you in awe of MJ, and then also, of course, loved the Looney Tunes.
Oh, my bad. That's cheaper by the dozen.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
all
both
right.
kids' movies.
Yeah. Well, yes, for sure.
Excellent film.
But anyway, that'll be my next one. It was just, it was one of those moments where I was like, there's so much that's derived from that. Still relevant today. LeBron's making Space Jam too.
Okay, but that has been in the works for fucking ever. But I guess cartoons take forever.
It's not going to be as good. So
Trevor, not with that fucking attitude.
Yeah. It's just.
Also, they're making a new. It's either Pocahontas or Peter Pan.
I feel like they always come out with new Peter Pan, so.
No, not in a long time. It's
They
Peter
had-
Pan. It's Peter Pan.
They had the Hugh Jackman one.
Because Jude Law is Hook.
That could be
Jude
good.
Law is Hook. This is
That could be
breaking
good.
news. Jude Law is so hot. They've got to stop making them this like villain or gay. Like I am getting sexually
Whoa.
confused. Those are not equal. Villain or gay. I didn't
Right.
say gay and villain.
Yeah, you just didn't like when he's either. Of
I don't like
those.
that. Well, I like that he's gay and Dumbledore, but that makes me confused because I'm a woman.
And you want him for yourself.
Yes, and and it's the fact that Dumbledore is old in Harry Potter, and now he's
Right.
young and he's Jude Law,
Yeah.
and he's kissing. Spoiler: Johnny Depp. Like, what do I do with that? That's so hot.
Yeah, and he's a Dumbledore. I just had to say it.
Everyone
it's
in their
so
car
awful.
is just like,
Turned it off. Good.
Wow, Harry Potter.
All right.
Obviously, that would have been a good one. I didn't write it down, but spectacular. Even though my venture with Harry Potter is much different, and I will say it quickly, and I can't remember if I've said it on here before, but I went to a Christian school, and they told us that Harry Potter was the devil, and that obviously Narnia is about
Correct.
God. So I was going around being like, y'all, Harry Potter's the devil, don't watch it. And then so I'd go to my
Smart.
cousins in Mississippi who didn't go to a Christian school, and they loved Harry Potter, like waited for the books to come out and everything. So I never really read the books, and I didn't see the first movie, and then I was in town when the second movie came out, and they were like, well, we're gonna go see this movie and you can just go fuck yourself, like we're not gonna not go see this movie. So I went and saw it with them because I like to have fun with my friends, and I saw the movie and I was like, whoa, this is like really good. I wonder if like Jesus is okay with this. I wonder if the other kids know that it's fine and I didn't feel Satan in this room tonight at all. And so then I got really hooked into Harry Potter, was kind of scared to tell people. And so it basically was just all backwards, and I just didn't really have like the whole thing with the books. Like I've read them now, but that is how it got started. But I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I think I've said that before. But, you know, it was some trial and tribulations to get there. But Harry Potter was and is a huge phenomenon. I listened to Daniel Radcliffe read the first chapter of the first Harry Potter book last night.
Brilliant.
That was pretty good.
Did you literally download that while I was talking, or did you already have it?
You don't have to download it. But yes, I searched it. That was good though,
I
right?
feel like I just got old shamed.
You don't download it.
Mom.
You stream it.
Okay.
Is that your next one? Are you
I didn't write it down, so sure, yeah, that was it. R.I.P. Snape.
That was
You
great.
know what?
It was
The
very-
hardest death. The huge spoilers, but come on. Two most unnecessary cross the line by who we know someone who is kind of loves to cross the line was the death of Dobby. Too far, unnecessary, didn't need to happen. Second was George or Fred. I can never remember which.
Fred. Pretty sure.
Didn't need to happen at all. Absolutely gut-wrenching moment.
Yeah. I remember.
And like in that movie,
Yeah.
the hits just don't stop because you go into the Great Hall where it's like you see some dead people, some are alive. You realize like who's dead, who's alive. Ramus and Tonks. And then he has to go back out there and die and kill Voldemort. And it's like, don't we ever just take a breath?
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think she really crossed the line with that one. And like, this isn't Game of Thrones. It's fucking Harry Potter. Like, chill out.
Yeah.
And Dobby, like, he was just free for only a couple of years, and his heart was pure gold.
The
And him
angel,
and his little boots.
angel of death.
He wears Timberlands.
I thought he just wore a sock. Wasn't that the thing?
Oh,
He
Trevor,
has to get a
you
sock
son
to
of a
be
bitch.
free.
You stupid bastard.
Oh
No,
my
he-
God. All right.
Sorry, that's a Friends reference. That's a Friends reference.
Let's hope
You
so.
stupid bastard.
Jesus.
He gets a sock to be free, but he doesn't wear the sock. In the seventh movie, he wears like Timberlands, and Ron's like, nice kicks.
What?
And he looks so cute in his little Timberlands. Are you looking it up? I'm so
Uh,
glad this is the region we're in.
Dobby Timberlands.
He like should have gotten his Timberland sponsorship. No one has worn them better. Just say like seventh movie.
I did Dobby Timberlands, and weirdly, only Timberlands merchandise is coming up.
Dobby Boots.
Dobby Boots.
Boot Scoot and Boogie.
Dobby Boots.
I can find this one.
Yeah. I'm not really getting good images. They look like Velcro shoes in what I'm seeing, so I don't think I'm Googling it correct.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll find it.
We'll find a pic.
Yeah.
He's got some shoe game. Dobby with the shoe game heat. Nice.
These are boots.
Okay. It's not what I really think of Timberlands as.
Timberlands are boots. It's universal. It's like Nike, shoes, tennies, whatever.
You're using the like Kleenex is tissue. I got you. Okay.
So cute.
I will go with my next one as Superbad coming out. Just because
Incredible.
It was like in high school, we were right around the same age. I think I was in sophomore year, so it was not quite like they were seniors. I was sophomore, but huge in just like feeling that awkwardness that they felt, the wanting to be cool, the wanting to be popular, the wanting to like, be the guy that all the girls liked or whatever, and like feeling a lot of that. Those similar things, and just it was one of the first movies that was about high school that really nailed what high school was kind of like.
And I feel like it was the first one that was like, fuck, this is so funny, and there's no innocence in this humor. Like, before what I had watched, it was very innocent humor, Disney Channel, and then watching that, I was like, oh, this is like bad.
Right.
Super bad.
They like washed the movie down, or the other movies down, so it was like, oh yeah, this is like this milquetoast version of what high school is like, and this was the first one where it was like, no, people will draw dicks on everything. You know?
The one I was watching was like, we don't drink, we just sing.
Yeah, exactly. We sing and dance and say no to drugs.
Like, turn to MTV and it's like, next, there's cum on the pillows. Yeah. Next,
they had the famous.
I don't have a job. I'm not gonna work, and I'm gonna get your daughter pregnant. Will you let me date your daughter?
What is that? Next?
That's parental control.
Oh, the parental control. I was gonna say they had the scene with the period blood while he was dancing. The classic.
That scene is still hard to watch.
It's What's that on your leg?
No.
Just a bunch of.
I just love Michael Cera.
Hilarious scenes. Great first introduction, really, to Michael Cera and Jonah Hill for me.
Totally. And now going back with Bill Hader and Seth Rogen and Emma Stone, it's so good. Yeah. And that was Emma Stone's first movie, like big movie.
Yeah, star-studded
17.
cast.
It's fucking crazy.
That is crazy. I didn't know she was that young. But yeah, that'll be my next.
That will be yours. That's great.
It's a good one.
And what I will say is, this is just going back way earlier than that, but just the beginning of Mary-Kate and Ashley conglomerate taking over the world. Because Full House, I don't even think I knew, like, once they started coming out with their own shit, that was Michelle from Full House, even though I was absolutely obsessed with Full House. And then Mary-Kate and Ashley really just took on the world, and I was like, Ashley, like, I'm Ashley, like, for sure. And everybody else wanted to be Mary-Kate, but, like, I had to be Ashley because my name was Ashley. And then they just cranked out shows and movies after movie. They had video games where you would change their outfit, and they were just the future of fashion. They were dating boys. Bonjour.
They were big.
That's from Passport to Paris. And yeah, just they took over the world, and now they've completely disappeared. But that's fine.
Their cousin or their sister? She's pretty big now. Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh, I actually saw her today, but I don't really know her in anything.
She's been in quite a bit. She's in like some of the Marvel movies. She was in Wind River.
I don't know.
She's been in
I get why the Olsen twins are like, fuck y'all, like, we're done, because they're literally so rich.
Yeah.
I had their clothes that they sold at like Walmart or something.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I bought their pajamas when I was young, and they had these like fake metal clasps, so you could like change the straps, and they completely broke me out, which is where I learned that I'm allergic to that.
It is their sister.
Didn't deter me though.
It is their sister,
younger
just
sister.
FYI. Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Point of clarification.
But yeah, Mary-Kate and Ashley for sure, man.
Nice. Yeah, they're huge. All right, let me go to my next one. Will be. This is tough. I went through a few different ones. I probably will say I'm just gonna combine them. Tiger Woods, Michael Phelps, Lance Armstrong's. All three of their just like prolific runs where it was like these guys are insane and like they can't be stopped. Tiger.
And they're all great guys.
Yeah, Tiger, he's got the off the field stuff, whatever.
The field stuff.
We're not talking about. I'm just saying.
Just infidelity. Ugh, who cares?
At the time, it was like the most insane thing ever. None of these guys, Michael Phelps is not the coolest guy.
I haven't heard anything controversial about him.
Not controversial. He's just
a wienerhead.
He's just kind of a dork, I think. But
dorks are fine.
That's
why
I said
he was like an asshole.
No, I just said he's not the coolest guy.
I thought you meant like he's not the coolest guy. Like he's
got
money
some shady
laundering.
Shit. Yeah. No, I think he's probably a really nice guy.
I've heard wonderful things.
But anyway,
got milk.
Yeah, like when they were all hot, it was just insane to see people dominate a sport like those three did.
It's funny how differently we use the word hot.
I mean, not
I was
hot.
like, oh, you used to think they were cutie patooties?
No.
And look at Tiger Woods. I mean, he's back and he's doing it. He's winning stuff.
Phelps did have like an insane body, but
I'm sure he still has one. No. Maybe not right now in the middle of quarantine.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him for a few years now.
He's just so tall. Oh, my God.
It's not all about height, okay?
I just meant like,
I know,
wow, not like, wow, I'm
you.
attracted to his height. I literally would have to climb him.
How tall is he? Phelpsy?
6'7".
You think that's your final guess?
Sure, whatever. I don't have much skin in this game.
Michael Phelps, 6'4".
Ah, close.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's all about the same once you get past, 6'3", 6'4".
What a mini baby. Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, he cheated. So
he cheated.
What else you got?
And for my sports, just kidding. I don't know. Wow, this is a lot. Probably SpongeBob. SpongeBob coming out was a really big deal for me. I remember exactly where I was. I remember I was with my cousins when I watched it at my cousin's house. And at the end of the episode, my aunt said, "This is a bad show. Y'all can't watch this." And I was like, "You're not my mom, but I'm going to watch this whenever I want." And SpongeBob, I think, was my first, was that? Yeah, my first introductory into comedy.
SpongeBob was great.
SpongeBob is great. And now that we know he's gay, which totally makes sense, like how fabulous. It was just such a hilarious show followed by a hilarious movie.
Although I did hear that the creator of SpongeBob didn't ever want to give him any sort of sexuality.
Yeah.
So
but
I find
now
it
he is gay.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was now like, well, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah. Well, he's dead. So he never.
Oh, so then someone was like, fuck you, let's call a spade a spade.
Right. That's, yeah.
And I mean, the picture with him with the rainbow on the SpongeBob body, it's just too cute. Except one thing I have to say, can we stop with the claymation? I can't do the claymation SpongeBob.
Oh,
there was like a recent SpongeBob movie, and it's not exactly claymation. It's like animated claymation.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Where it's like he looks like he's made out of like 3D shiny clay, and I'm like, no.
It's like when Fairly Odd Parents had the episode where it was like this extravaganza thing, and he went 3D, and he was in the Jimmy Neutron world.
Yeah,
and he had that exact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I loved Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron.
Both great.
Also, I've talked about Jimmy Neutron a good bit on the show.
All right. Any quick honorable mentions?
Yeah, let me just run through the rest, which I'm also very passionate about. So I don't know if I should save them. Whatever. Britney Spears, first CD, pink background, sitting, feet in the back, red shirt, fabulous. Hit me, baby, one more time. The Jonas Brothers, obviously. Metamorphosis by Hilary Duff. That CD is absolutely incredible. I listened to it this weekend on the way to the farmer's market. The debut of Hannah Montana, and then High School Musical. And then the Jonas Brothers on Hannah Montana. I was like, I am going to be watching this as soon as it airs.
The most ambitious crossover
Live.
of all time.
Yeah, and it was like Nick and Miley liked each other, which started a whole saga. I was like, wow, I really can't deal with this.
Yeah.
Like, she's Hannah Montana. She has it all.
She really does.
She has the best of both worlds, I heard.
I was going to say my little can't believe I didn't say this one, but Iron Man coming out just because it started the entirety of all the Marvel movies.
I've never seen it.
But
I know that the wife's name is, I want to say Peppa Pig, but I know it's not. Penny Lane.
It's I think it's Pepper.
Not Penny Lane.
Pepper Potts. Pepper Potts.
What a horrible name.
Yeah. They like the alliteration in the
Peppa
the
Pig
Marvel
is
movies.
not that far from Pepper
It's
Potts.
not that far.
Just a hip and
Quite
a scop.
close. I said Megan Fox and Transformers, just because that was like everybody's like, oh my god.
No, I truly understand that.
Entourage. I didn't really put that for me because I was like, I I never watched it live, so I was like, I wasn't at that age. But and then House of Cards, just because it was like the first show that
Talk about some good guys.
it was just the first show that people like ever binged. Like it was the first
I don't
Netflix show that
remember
was
that at
bingeable.
all. Did you watch it?
I did, but after the fact. But I just remember that's why they were honorable mentions. Yeah.
After you found out Kevin Spacey was a bad guy is when you started watching it?
Yeah, like a year ago. No, I watched it as it was coming out, just not right away when it first came out. But yeah, that's our show. Any last closing thoughts? No dirty COVID money for your Craigslist, or not Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace goods.
No dirty COVID money?
That's what you said at the beginning. Keep it dirty
you want
COVID
to say it
money.
again?
No, I'm just spewing some stuff
Buy
off.
my stuff.
Oh, next week, what's the Sex and the City movie review?
Yes, the movie. It's on Amazon Prime, which I think it means it's on HBO right now. So check both of those.
Yeah.
This is a rare gift that we rarely have, so take advantage of it. And if you feel so moved by the first one, watch the second one because it's on there too.
And we got some good questions in
Abu Dhabi do.
from the audience, so we're going to be answering some of those next week. If you have more, feel free to go to our website, friendswithoutbenefits.site. Questions tab, ask away anything that comes to your mind. Instagram, Twitter, @FriendsNoBennies. Follow us.
Subscribe, leave a review if you so choose. It could be 5 stars, and you could say, Jesse McCartney forever. I love claymation.
Tell us your AIM screen name.
Yes. Say, you got mail.
All right, y'all. Until next time.
Thanks for listening. God bless.
Yep.
30, flirty, and thriving.